Hello, my name is Shobha. Myself and my members of my Nari women's group will be knitting purple hearts for Black Country Women's Aid. These hearts will be given to recovering victims of domestic violence, exploitation, to let them know that love can be kind and to give them some hope for a better future. So today I'm going to follow this pattern, which is quite clear and easy to understand. Now, I haven't knitted before, well, not so much, so it was easy for me to follow this as well. So I will be encouraging other women to knit these hearts. I'm going to demonstrate few stitches on this, some of the stitches that aren't mentioned in there. Now let me see if I can. So this is a purl stitch which is done on the wrong side. So this is purl, so pushing the needle from underneath and above and pulling and pulling and pulling. Drop the stitch, drop the stitch. This is purl, called purl stitch. Now this is the knit stitch, is on the right hand side. You can tell the difference. So it's going from the front and over and again and dropping this stitch on this. So one more, so the other stitches you will be coming across is purl two together. So this is on the wrong side again, and it's putting needle from there, from the bottom, into two stitches. So that's one, two stitches, 1, 2. Yarn over and make one stitch out of two stitches. So that's decreasing on the purl side. So I'm going to knit rest of the purl and then show you how to increase on the right hand side. So increasing stitches, this is the right side. Increasing stitches is pushing the needle into the first stitch, yarn over, pull the needle through, and then the stitch at the same stitch at the back, putting the needle through again and knitting into the same stitch. So you are making two stitches out of one stitch. So that's increasing stitches. So if you were decreasing stitches on the right side, on the knit side, then you will be picking up two stitches like this, 1, 2, into one needle and yarn over. So making one stitch out of two stitches. So this is the terminology that's on the pattern. So this is how it's done. So it's knit, purl, knit two together, which means knit two stitches and make one stitch, and then purl two together, which means two stitches and purl them on the wrong side. Now it's usually done when you want to increase the heart. For example, here's one I made a little earlier. So this is the bottom part of the heart, which looks like a little bunting. So all I've done is two stitches on, make the first two stitches into three stitches, then knit the first stitch and then increase in the middle and then knit again. So that's made 4 stitches, and then at the end, every stitch on this side you increase 1 stitch, and on this side you increase 1 stitch, giving you this effect of like a bunting thing. So follow that up to row 11, when you should have 12 stitches. Then it's knit, purl, knit, and then you go on to make the little heart humps. So this is the one I made earlier. So this, this is the bunting up to there, and this is where you start to decrease stitches on both sides, so it becomes a little bit of a heart thing. What I did forget to tell you earlier on is if you're buying wool, behind there usually tells you what size needles you need and how much to a square you will knit. So this gets a little bit complicated, but it's really helpful to know what size needles you need. So these are some of the hearts I made earlier. Now I didn't have purple, so I made pink one and I made a lilac one. But then I found a little bit of purple wool at home, so I decided to do a double-sided one. Now with this, I have sewn the edges all the way around. This is on the wrong side, and I've left a little bit of opening there. Now I'm going to turn it inside out. So let's see. Here we are. That's a nice little heart. I'm going to stuff this now with this bit of wadding I've got, and ruffle it up a bit and stuff this heart quite tightly so it gives a nice push into the corners, into the humps of the heart. I actually took this out of some of the cushions I haven't used, so it's come handy to make a nice heart. So if it's nicely stuffed, it makes it a nice plump heart. Nearly done there now. So I'm going to finish sewing the edges of this heart. So over stitch, push this wadding down and over stitch, just catching the end stitches lightly and stitching over. And tie the ends over with this little bit of wool, surplus wool at the bottom. Tie these ends over and sort of feed back in the needle, so some of the wool goes in there. We can actually trim this and trim this as well. Here you are, nicely ruffled, nice plump heart, double-sided. You can move it a bit. So here we are, a nice heart. So I've got some pretty hearts here. I hope you have a go, you're inspired to have a go and get everybody knitting these hearts so we can help all these women and children who are victims of domestic violence or exploitation. Thank you for watching.